What's up? What's up? What's up? It's your girl Marisha LaShay, and we are back with another episode of The Breakfast Show with Marisha LaShay. I am here in season 5, which continues, and I'm celebrating, okay? It is good to be back before you guys under the sound of my voice. Giving honor to God, who is the head of my life. I have had the opportunity to complete 4 seasons before I have arrived here at season 5, and I don't take this opportunity for granted, nor do I take it lightly. I appreciate God for being with me and being the inspiration from different places that I have been, and also the people. I'm literally eternally grateful, and I will always keep expressing my gratitude because it keeps me grounded and humble. First and foremost, you guys know that I definitely have to give honor to God who's ahead of my life. Thank Him for His gift of gab. Thank Him for my family, my friends, my son, my significant other, all my different supporters, and even the people that are just finding me new friends, new people, new supporters. Thank you. Come on in. Welcome. So, meanwhile, I want to go ahead and talk about the history of the Breakfast Show with Marisha LaShay. Originally, back in November of 2020, during the pandemic, my dad and I were working on projects and having morning meetings. One day in morning meeting, my dad and I created the Breakfast Show with Marisha LaShay because we were asked each other different questions, different thought-provoking questions, comments, concerns, and different things that we felt that was interested. And I ran with the idea of reaching a bigger audience with some of these thoughts and creating an actual safe space for others to engage my content. Then we decided that I will only go live in months that have 30 days, which are only April, June, September, and November. And the thought process behind that was to actually just generate 30 episodes per season. So, with that being said, for the next 24 days, I will continue the marathon of using my gift of gab to inspire, motivate, and encourage others to reach for the stars based on their real world topics, goals, and aspirations. So, yes, we have exactly 24 more days. Today is day 6 of the breakfast show. So 24 more days that you guys will see my beautiful face. So moving on to the next part of the show, and that is the actual mental check-in. When you're mentally checking in, you're doing this on a scale ranging from 1 to 10, 1 being the worst day of your life and 10 being the best day of your life. And can you be above a lower 1 and above a 10? Absolutely. Nobody can tell you how to feel as it relates to your different transitions being made and things like that based on how you feel. So I am feeling amazing. Definitely feeling amazing. Definitely glad to be here before you guys, just recording another episode. And I'm just glad that I'm here. I'm just really, really glad. I'm about a good solid 8. Definitely got some work to do, but I'm a good solid 8. I'm just glad to be here, glad to be before you all, bringing content and just working behind the scenes and doing everything that I do. I'm thankful for that. So, with that being said, you guys go ahead and feel free to drop those numbers, comments. If you feel led to share why you feel the way that you do, then that's great as well. But I'm going to go ahead and segue into the question is, and we going to have us a conversation per usual. So today is about new beginnings, new balance, and bets. I want to break down the definitions of the following words. Let's start with the first one being new. Having recently come into existence, recent, modern. Examples of new stuff, new outlook on life, a new physical look, such as your hair or your body, can change your eyes, your clothes, your shoes, and fingernails, etc. Being other than the former or old. New opportunities, new jobs, new money, new house, new car, new fishing rod, etc. Having been in a relationship or condition but a short time. So new mates, new experiences, new students, new friends, etc. When we look at the word beginning, the point at which something begins, start, the first part, the origin, the source, introductory, Routine, self-reflections, habits, and experiences. When we think about beginnings, we think about our routines daily, different holidays. We think about self reflection. How often? What kind of good habits and bad habits do we have? And what type of new experiences? So, a part of you being able to establish a new routine, you're going to think about and want to sit down and think about these things. What do all these ideas have in common? It's the beginning and the start. When you start something, you have already made your mind up because you're being intentional. In order to be intentional, then you put in the work, the time, and the effort, which ties into the commitment to get this done, no matter how long it may take. So, my key takeaways as it relates to new beginnings is the fact that you must first acknowledge that you wanted something different or a different result. That's making up your mind. That's taking accountability for your actions. Two, get a clear understanding of what the target is, where you want to see the change. That's being intentional with only maybe one thing and not 12. And third, how much time do I have to commit? That is actually scheduling your time to get these tasks completed and being accountable, because what you put in is what you get out. All right, moving on to the new balance. We could talk about physical equilibrium, stability produced by even distribution of weight on each side of the vertical axis. Equipoise between contrasting opposing interactions and elements, means of judging or deciding. Stop looking for people that have the same interests as you. It's boring. And here is what I mean. We need one connection with the person to spark something. And allow me to explain. Because you have met someone new, don't expect y'all walk of life to be the same or even think the same. Because if it was how God created us, then the world will be very boring because no one will have no individuality or their own personality to make them the person who they were designed to be. So the key takeaways from this is don't be so gung-ho on the person being able to think just like you or do what you would have done, because we were wired differently and have experienced life differently. Second, don't be quick to pass judgment on anyone, because who are you to judge? It just creates a very unsafe place of expression for the other person and even for yourself, subconsciously, because you're just passing judgment for no apparent reason or because you are doing it because it just feels right. Let's break down the bets. And those, when it deals with bet, it sounds just like what it is: a vow or pledge for yourself. With bets, I'm sorry, I'll go back. Something that is laid, staked, or pledged typically between two parties on the outcome of a contest or a contingent issue. Wager, often used figuratively in phrases such as all bets are off, to stress the uncertainty of an outcome. The act of giving such a pledge, something to wager on, a choice made by consideration of probabilities. Let's break down bets. Our key takeaways with bets: a vow or pledge for yourself. No one has has to know what's going on with you but you. Activating your power, activating the power, your power, and actually putting it into action are the things that is going to affect what's happening as it relates to your bets. I'm betting on myself, meaning I'm betting on my potential. I'm betting on my talents. I'm betting on my ability to solve problems. I'm betting on me because nobody knows me better than I know me. Nobody knows what I'm willing to do or what I'm willing to go through and what I'm not, or what I have been through. You only know what I've been through if I have already told you, but then yet and still what I have already showed you and who I am today is not the same person of who I was yesterday or last year, because every year we change ages and we go through different experiences, which changes our trajectory and how we view things, how we view people, how we view life, how we do certain processes. The more knowledge that we take in, the better off we are in acknowledging what is right and what is wrong to us, not of the world, but in regards to us, because we're going to live our life accordingly to what we do and how we do. And if you have children, then you really are going to be cognizant of what you're showing and what you're doing, and when your kids are picking up certain habits. you're definitely going to know and you're going to understand, okay, I understand. I understand me more. I understand what I have going on. So what I would like to do is to go ahead and the question what the topic of the question is for today, which is new beginnings, new balance, and bets. What does all this mean? And I'll go over the word new and examples of something new that is not old, that is not former, that has recently come into existence, recent, modern, happening for a short time. And our key takeaways with new is new mates, new experiences, new students, new friends, just things being made all new. um whether you start a new routine, new self-reflection, often what kinds of good habits and bad habits that you stopped and started, and what type of new experiences. What do these all have in common? They all have you making up your mind. They have you being intentional. They have you putting in work, time, and effort, and a commitment. Okay, key takeaways for new beginnings is acknowledgement. And when you acknowledge in something, you acknowledge that you want something different or you want a different result. That's making your mind up. 2, get a clear understanding of what the target is where you want to see the change. That's being intentional with only one thing and not 12 things. 3rd, how much time do I have to commit? That is actually scheduling your time to get these tasks completed and being accountable, which is you're going to get what you put in. Get what you put in. What you put in is what you get out. Okay. As it relates to new balances, you want to stop being so gung-ho on the person being able to think like you or be exactly like you based on what you would do, because we're all wildly different and experience life different. 2nd, don't be so quick to pass judgment on anyone because who are you to judge? And it just creates a very unsafe place of expression and tarnishes that person thought process of who they are and what they believe. And last but not least, as it deals with bets, new bets, a valid pledge for yourself. No one has to know what is going on with you but you. Activating the power that you have and putting that power that you have activated into action. So with that being said, you guys, this is the close of the show. Before I get up out of here, I have to remind you guys of a couple things. 2 goals that I had last year for my 2nd year anniversary. For the breakfast show with Marisha LaShay, I wanted to expand my listeners to 1,000. I'm currently at 449 listeners. I also wanted to expand the different platforms that I was using. I started off with maybe 2 to 3 platforms, maybe 4. And I'm currently on 10 different platforms, including Apple Podcasts. On Apple Podcasts, I will soon be dropping subscriptions and things like that in place on different social media platforms as well, or podcast platforms. And last but not least, I started off with 7 countries. I wanted to continuously keep expanding on a greater scale, and I'm currently at 12 countries, and I have 183 more to go. Seeing is believing, trusting is faith, and faith without work is dead. So with that being said, thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for listening. I hope that this helps someone today. Thank you guys so much, and peace in the hair grease. Thank you.